we don't want him to get in, and then he won't be able to get out. Also, to give you a very direct conception of my right to movement and how it is completely restricted, I cannot marry a man from the West Bank, or Jerusalem, or present-day Israel. I have to choose a man only from Gaza, or from outside if I would have the chance to get outside. Yeah, and I have known Palestinians from the West Bank and 48, and we didn't want to go on because we know that he won't be able to come and live in Gaza, and I won't be able to go and live with him. And also for someone in the diaspora, he has been trying since 2010 to come, and I lost hope. So he is emailing me, and I don't want even to reply because it's a waste of time, and it's psychologically not easy. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, we'll take one more question.
I really appreciate your coming here and explaining these details and what it would take to put Palestine back together again. I just wanted to raise the idea that, like here in the United States, we don't think of it as just the United States. There's the people running it, and there's most of us working. And in Israel too, the co-workers that you have, the Israeli population is very diverse. And I think you'll find a lot of allies there, coming up with policies that can reach out to those working people. They're at a total dead end under the government, the system that they have too. So I'm just advocating, thinking in terms of what's happening around the world with Jewish people too, that the crisis of the capitalist system has meant violence being directed against them too, including here within the United States, but internationally. So I think I just wanted to raise the idea that we should seek out ways of reaching across that border, and the kinds of demonstrations that have happened in the past where Israeli workers and all kinds of workers within Israel have also demonstrated, that can happen again, and I think that's the road forward.
I really hope that I would have been able to share your hope on this matter. I think that it is difficult for me to share this hope because with every subsequent elections in Israel, a more radical government a more right-wing radical government is being elected. Those progressive Israelis that I'm guessing you are referring to, they do not share. They say that yes, they do want peace, but they want peace on their own terms, and peace that doesn't do us justice as Palestinians, because I have a Palestinian leadership that does not really now represent Palestinians has already given up 78% of the land. So I don't think it is fair that more land is given up, and I don't think it is fair that some inalienable rights like the right of return of Palestinian refugees and the right of self-determination is put on the negotiations table. These are not things that should be negotiated on. The negotiations should be on how to implement them, but not on whether they will be implemented or not. And so I can tell you for a fact that the most progressive Israelis do not agree with the right of return, which is something that is non-negotiable to us, simply because 150 years ago there were Europeans who could not assimilate well into their society and decided to have a state of their own. Yes, they can create a state of their own, it's none of my business, but not come and do it on my land and the expense of my people and my blood. Yes, they can have their own land, but not on my land, and not on my expense. And
But you have to look for ways of compromise.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about people, yeah.
I think when we are calling for one democratic state for all Palestinians, including Jews and Christians and Muslims, so including those settlers who came to our land, I think this is a very generous compromise. So, jumping to the lady's question, during the first attack on Gaza, 92% of the Israeli society, they supported the aggression on Gaza. So the Israeli society, if you go deep reading about it, it's going more to the right wing because they want an exclusive state for Jews only. Now, I'm not saying, and the left is not left. For me, the left is right. Now, now to say that that there are Israelis, some individuals who are progressive, yes, I'm not saying that there aren't. But for me, it's not my business. It's not my job to work on the Israeli society and to try to change their views and how they think. This is not my job at all. My job is to turn to the international community and to say, look, you have a moral responsibility to come in solidarity with me and to support my basic human rights. Again, I'm not against any Jew or against any Israeli Jew. If I will live in a state which is where we have equal rights, I have no problem even getting married to a Jewish person, even if my mother will. Now, also, I wrote a piece after the latest attack with an Israeli woman who supports BDS. So we don't have. We wrote about the siege both in Leningrad and in Gaza. So you can also read this article. So we don't have a problem with Israelis as individuals. We have a problem with this system of oppression.
I just wanna maybe add an idea. Maybe we can work on it. But I guess I just once thought why activists in Germany wouldn't do anything to change their policy and to say to the German Jews, please come back to your lands, please come back to your homes, instead of making them visit some kind of sites. Why they don't compromise them, emotional compromise? Why the governments the French, the French government, why they aren't saying to their citizens, Jewish citizens, stay in your homeland, stay in France. This is your homeland. This is your language. This is your tradition. You are going in a land that doesn't look like you. It's not even the climate for you. So I think, for a good start, maybe the Jews went through a really hard time in the war, but okay, compensate not on our land or not on Uganda, if you know what I mean, but let them go back to their houses and let them interact with the German society, because till this moment there are Jews who will speak German inside their houses, and there are Jews here in Israel, who will speak Russian, and there are Orthodox Jews who will speak just Russian, because Hebrew is just a Bible language, and it's not allowed to be spoken as an ordinary language. So the Zionism, in my belief, is our enemy and not the Jews. With the Palestinian Jews, we were like one fabric. So for me, I know my enemy well, and I know where I'm going to fight against it.
Question. It's actually not even a question. And actually, what I wanted to ask, first of all, I wanted to thank you for having the courage and being able to come out here with us and it is really appreciated. And I said from the bottom of my heart, to me, the situation in Palestine is something that has always bothered me. I come from a family, I am of Basque descent, and so we have dealt with similar situations to the point that my family had to leave the Basque province of Bilbao when I was 2 years old because it was impossible for us to live out there. Regardless of all that, is it possible, or how, if I wanted to, I mean, I have a lot of questions for you, but I don't want to take the time tonight to ask them. Is it possible to, how can I get a hold of you, either one of you? Is it possible at all to do it, yes or no?
Are you on Facebook?
Yes, I am.
We all are.
Yes, I am.
All of us are on Facebook.
Also, I can give you my email address.
That would be great. I will appreciate that very much.
I can get up in the morning early and have a coffee with you if you want to chat also.
I live in Lincoln, Nebraska, and unfortunately I have to work tomorrow.
Okay.
How long are you going to stay here?
Till Tuesday. But really, if you're like, you really want to know about this, like maybe at late and maybe at early morning, we can like go, because we have a seven hours difference between Palestine and the United States, so we can like get along with the difference. So for us it's 7, it's not really early, it's 10 in Palestine. So if you want, really, is you are, I'm ready to speak like all the day. So whatever you like, just tell me what you like, and we can arrange.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate that very much, and I may take you up on that. Let me see if I can get up tomorrow. Maybe we can have lunch together.
You have to speak with Katie. I'm sorry, Katie, but she's the one who's responsible.
We'll work it out. We're staying at my house. I'm not getting up at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, we have a lot of procedures also to have to do.
All right, folks, thank you for coming out, and thank you for the ministers and the church for allowing us to hold this event. This was great. I hope you enjoyed the girls as much as I did. Thank you, girls, for coming. Don't forget to take your food and your pots and your pans.